Let's move on to Max at Holy Rosary Cathedral.
Thank you, Max.
Your Excellency, I had a discussion with some traditional Catholics. They were telling me that dancing, watching movies, listening to non-Christian music, or even working in a certain job is considered a sin. They have also said, too, having a 401k or even insurance is considered a sin unless it's Catholic or faith-based. I've done some digging, but haven't found any evidence to support this. Was wondering if you have any answers that doing certain activities aren't sinful.
Max, and when I read your question, I thought, how in the world am I going to answer this? And here was my inspiration. Dancing. My mother and father dancing at their 50th wedding anniversary. I don't think that was sinful. Watching movies. A family gathered around to watch The Sound of Music. I don't think that was sinful. Listening to non-Christian music, things that soothe the soul and calm the mind, I don't think that's sinful. Now, on the other hand, you say here, or working in a certain job, I can tell you, I had a friend who worked in nuclear research, and he actually resigned his very, very prominent and well-paying job because nuclear weapons were being produced from where he was working. So I think it's very facile and too simple to say these things are a sin, you shouldn't do them, based on the examples I just gave. Another is, why would a 401k, I know people who have a 401k to provide for their right retirement. Why is that sinful? Insurance, for life insurance, to provide for the coverage of your funeral so as not to preoccupy your family when you die, how is that sinful, Max? So I think, go to the sources, Max. So right to the Catechism of the Catholic Church, in the glossary, the definition of sin. Are you ready, Max? An offense against God, as well as a fault against reason, truth, and right conscience. Sin is a deliberate thought, word, deed, or omission contrary to the eternal law of God. In judging the gravity of sin, it is customary to distinguish between mortal and venial, and you can go yourself to 1852 and 1853. But notice how careful there. This is in the glossary in the back of the Catechism. This is the definition. A fault against reason, truth, and right conscience. So I know I was trying to be a little bit cheeky by talking, for example, dancing. My parents on their 50th wedding anniversary. If two people dancing who are not married and their closeness in the act of dancing causes them and leads them into a temptation of lust for another, of course that would be a temptation and a possible leading to sin. But Max, I think you better be super careful about what sin is, how the church defines it, and what could or could not be considered sinful. Thanks, Max, so much.